Okay. So today I thought I would bring some of this stuff out. Obviously you can see on the side here that this is some products from N-ext Level Fertility down in Georgia. Let me connect real quick to this. And I'm real skeptical, okay? I like the concepts, I like what's said. When it comes to these products, I'm very interested. I believe John is the one that talks about them on a regular basis. And I'm really curious as to how they're going to work. All right, so let's take a look at what we've done. So first of all, I have not gone through and done a soil test. That's next on my list of things to do, is to do a soil test. Pretty interested. I also am pretty confident in what I'm going to find. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to find a pretty acidic soil with nutrient imbalances. And so the first thing that I'm going to be putting down, regardless, is this microgreen 002. That's going to be the first thing that's going to start off our year. I've got this, of course, the RGS soil and plant stimulator, and it seems silly when they put these things in plastic bags until you get something like this out of there. And I know they were talking about this the other day, about how they've solved their packaging issues with this specific cap, and it doesn't seem like they've quite solved that yet. But they're either working on it, or I've got one of the older packages here. And so we're looking at humic acid, fulvic acid, and sea kelp extract are the primary ingredients here. Everything I'm going to shake well. Then I've got two more products. You should know that I actually went onto the site and I selected each one of these products based upon what I thought that I would really need. And this is a humic 12, okay? Liquid humic acid, acid from liordanite, it's 12% water, and then potassium hydroxide, 88%. And 3 to 9 ounces per 1,000 square foot with sufficient water for thorough coverage. They recommend 7 to 1 water dilution. So that's another thing that we're going to have to do that I see seems to be really popular. Everybody's starting to do on their YouTube channels right now is go out and actually break down the square footage of lawn that I have, sit down with the sprayer that I've got, figure out what my coverage rate is, and then figure out how much water to product that we need to mix up to get our exact coverage rates on the lawn. A little bit different than granulated, which I think is just point and shoot. And then this, lastly, is a 005 liquid aeration, 5% soluble potash derived from potassium hydroxide. Contains non-plant food ingredients, humic acid, 8% again. So this is a little bit different product, supposed to help with the breakdown of organic material or thatch at the root zone. It's also supposed to start to open up the soil and stimulate, I don't know if the term is to stimulate root growth, but it's supposed to aerate the soil, for lack of a better term. So this is what I've got going next. Those are the things I'm really thinking about in regards to, I'm super curious as to how this is actually going to work in the lawn. Earlier this year, I've talked about a little bit more earlier on the channel. I have put down a couple different things. I put down, first of all, a treatment of lime, because I just know for a fact my soil is acidic, okay? The downside is that lime takes a really long time to work its way through the soil. I'm very interested to see what these liquid applications, how quickly they're going to start to change the nature of the soil that we have outside. The other thing that I did is I got 4 cubic yards of compost, and I had that placed in my my driveway. I've still got 2 yards out there because I need to do this back part of the yard, but I saved that because that's where I want to do my soil sampling. I think that'll give me a good idea of where the rest is. I'm going to send in a couple different samples. I'm going to send in samples from that back corner that hasn't been adjusted with any additional, actually I think I did put lime back there. So it'll definitely have, it's been watered in. We're definitely going to get an idea of what the soil composition looks like. And then we're actually I'm still going to take samples from out front. I'm going to take samples from the side yard, and I'm going to continue to, as the grass grows throughout the year, continue to add compost as that grass kind of works its way up through that, and we change where the actual root zone is. Threw down some seed out front, a couple really thin areas. Again, you'll remember that we're working with predominantly tall fescue here because I did try Kentucky 31. Now it's been about 2 seasons ago, and it came in really nice. The thing I like about Kentucky 31 is it's self-repairing. Rhizomes that spread. The downside with fescue is it's a clumping grass, which means that it starts from one point and it lifts and it spreads out, but as it kind of dies back, reveals those areas, and it never spreads. It can get bigger as clumps, and if you seed it at a pretty even rate, like what we've got in the front of the backyard, you get pretty even coverage. But that's kind of where I'm at with that right now. So the other thing that I want to do is I'm going to take and I'm actually going to level out a portion of the backyard right now. The biggest thing I think I see across my yard is that we get we have drainage issues. We get so much water, it just pours into the backyard. What I want to do is continue to get some lifts over here because I do have a drain from one side yard that kind of slopes across to the other side yard where that allows this water to get across the patio to escape down here where it drains out to the street. And the one thing that I've actually noticed, which is kind of surprising, and I don't know if it's a product of how much rain we've been getting because we've gotten a lot of rain, there's still standing water in the side yard over here at my neighbor's house. And when I moved in, that was a real thick stand of grass, and I don't know if we just went through a dry year or two, which allowed that to do really well. But right now, wow, there's a lot of grass that's not there anymore, and there's a lot of standing water. My side yard is the same way; it kind of gets a lot of standing water. And that water has a difficult time moving, not necessarily moving across, but because the clay is really impermeable, it doesn't like soak right down into that, or it just washes across and continues to leach out all the minerals and everything out of the soil. So there is what I've got going on right now. This is everything that I picked up from N-ext. This cost me about $98. I was really curious about the price. I'm also curious about recommendations, so I'm going to go with the label. I was watching Connor Ward the other day, and he said the label's a law, so I'm going to follow that. I'm going to go with the recommendation, take a look at it. My goal here is to really stimulate some root growth and develop a really robust stand of tall fescue that's going to be able to survive what is inevitably going to be a very hot and rough summer for that stuff. So thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.